So, in recent weeks, we've seen quite a bit of market volatility, and yours truly got kind of spoiled because for seemed like weeks on end, the market moved up in a nice steady fashion, and then recently we had a several percent pullback. Few things I just want to remind everybody of is number one, 5 and 10% or even more pullbacks are actually pretty common and can happen usually several times within a given year. And a lot of those years that we've had 5, 10, 15, 20% pullbacks in a market, we've actually had a positive year when you look at the whole year. So I just want to remind everybody of that. The other thing I wanted to address is what I would consider maybe 4 of the hot button issues that are driving most of the media news and creating some fear in investors and conversations with you all, our clients. Those are the Omicron fears of this new variant that we have, the ongoing supply issues and things that is causing in our economy, the Fed easing. We'll talk about that in just a second. And then the job growth component. So first we'll start with the Omicron fears. And I think if we've learned anything over almost the last 2 years, it's that we shouldn't overreact. We do not know how this is going to play out. There are plenty of medical experts. There are plenty of analysts on Wall Street, plenty of other intelligent folks whose predictions are all over the place. The best guess right now, I would say the consensus is that it's very contagious and it's going to be around for a little while. It may or may not be more deadly or more dire. We don't know. And I don't think there's anybody out there that knows absolutely for sure how all that's going to pan out. So yes, it's something that we should be aware of, but probably not overreact to. The ongoing supply chain issues. Of course, we're still seeing issues from being shut down in our economy 18, 20 months ago, where we're still seeing a difficulty in getting in supply in goods to consumers. That without a doubt is going to take months and maybe even another year or so to work through. So we're going to continue to see pressures there. We're going to continue to see some rising inflation, hopefully periodically rather than high rising inflation long term. I think that will be the case. We don't know again for sure, but probably we will work through some of these supply chain issues and inflationary pressures once we are fully ramped up. This isn't necessarily a bad thing though. It means that our economy is strong. Consumers are in a very good place. So even though we're feeling the pressure right now, barring some big, huge unexpected, is not necessarily a bad thing. The other item just in the last week that came up was the Fed easing. The Fed chairman came out and said, we're going to slow down or taper the easing measures that we have in place. What does that mean? Well, there's a big technical definition that probably only the brightest minds in finance could dissect, or economists. But basically what they're doing is they've been buying bonds, buying fixed income investments in the market to help create liquidity in the markets and encourage investment, encourage spending, all of these different things to build the economy back. They came out the other day and they spooked the market. However, should not have been any surprise because the Fed had been communicating this for months and months and months leading up to this. It was just a headline event. They didn't do anything. They didn't announce anything recently that they didn't say that they weren't already going to do. They've been very transparent in communicating that to investors and individuals. Last number that came out recently that a few people have had questions about is the job growth. The job creation that was reported here recently was in the 200 something thousand ish range. Analysts, investors had hoped for 500,000. Still not a bad number that we created, but down from what was expected. So mixed bag there. We'll see what the next month or the next 2 months or the next quarter brings with those reports. They may be up. But I just want to bring up that those are the four hot button issues that are out there in the news, and obviously they're the ones that you all are coming to us with questions about. All of those things, although not ideal, especially the new variant. That's something that's to be taken very serious, I believe, and we want to mitigate that as to the least extent of damage as possible. But all of those things aren't necessarily long-term bad for our market and or our economy. It's vital that once in a while we have some bumps in the road and we have some pullbacks in the market with some bad news once in a while. What we don't want to, or what's not ideal to experience, is for the market to just keep ratcheting new highs and going up day after day, week after week, month after month, because we all know inevitably where that leads. So, barring anything unexpected, some big things that we cannot see, those black swan events, I would say that we're in a decent place. We need to be patient. We will be monitoring. Raymond James, our back office, monitors all these things. But again, we just need to keep a cool head about us. Remember why we're invested, myself included, can get wrapped up in the day's events in the news. If you need anything, you have any questions on any of this, or you just need us to visit with you for a minute and hold your hand, please reach out to us.